Contrary to what some might believe, reading isn't constrained to classic literature. Others believe it's constrained to academic settings. As a result of this, some might find reading a chore instead of a hobby. Though I do believe it's important to read classic literature as it will expose you to a wide range of words, they're not mandatory to become literate. My mentality when it comes to reading has always been reading what you want and reading what you need. For example, reading comic books and reading the Bill of Rights. Unfortunately, a lack of exposure to different reading material could lead individuals to not know what they like or what they need to read. Or as I would like to call it, the discovery phase. I see the discovery phase as the following. Upon being exposed to a hobby, people make the mistake of defaulting to asking others who participate in the hobby instead of going to where the hobby is and discovering what they might like. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with asking others for recommendations, but you shouldn't base your opinion on what others like. Let me give an example. When I was a kid and started going to the bookstore, upon seeing a title or a cover that caught my eye, I would pick it up and read the back of the book. This usually will give me an idea of what the book is about. I would then follow that up by opening the book and reading the first few pages. This will result in two things, either putting the book back or putting it in my bag, due to it sparking my interest. From this point on, you start to get a feel of what you're interested in. The sad reality is that some people have never been through this phase. They associate their likes with what others told them to like instead of doing their homework. In this video, I'm obviously going to make some suggestions, but they're solely based off my taste and not what you should like. Please feel free to disagree and make suggestions as well. Welcome to 2 Months to Read, a series where I highlight some of the books I have read over the last 2 months. This can consist of comic books, manga, novels, or any other books that contains mostly text. Given that reading is back in fashion according to the internet, we might as well make some suggestions. As we know, most of y'all don't read anyway.
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra analyst, political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mussolini and Giviante Gentile and Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? Never heard of my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo!
And if you're someone who does, you might just be looking for suggestions to broaden your horizon. It's also possible you don't have time to go to a bookstore as much anymore. Or maybe you got inspired. This is the year you start reading again, you say to yourself, after seeing this abysmal statistic. Don't worry, I got you. Let's start off with some comic books. All heroes have an origin story. Some have been bitten by radioactive spiders. Others were chosen to uphold long-lasting oaths. Some decide to take matters into their own hand by operating from the shadows. Others derive their powers from natural resources. Such is the case for Kal-El. A child lands on a farm in Smallville, Kansas. A blessing to those who own it. They spend their lifetime treating him as their own, without a second thought about where he came from. As he gets older, the boy and couple start to notice his special traits. From strength, flying, incredible speed, this is no mere child. Questions begin to loom over them. One in particular is in relation to his origin. As they do their part to find answers, discretion is used to avoid any unwanted attention. Such traits should never be displayed to the public. He spends his life hiding who he is while doing what he can to help others, until tragedy strikes. The passing of a friend he couldn't save. A promise he made to the friend's sister was broken. Kobe Asuru died in his hands. It dawns on him that the only reason such tragedy wasn't prevented was the limitations he put on himself of never revealing his traits. Thus Superman was born, Metropolis' very own symbol of peace. Fear diminished in his presence. All evil was extinguished due to his strength. And now more than ever, he must practice hiding his identity. Only few could know. Who will he tell? How will he hide it? Who's an ally and who's a foe? What evils will be born from his arrival? This is the story of Superman Birthright. Every hero has an arch nemesis. Some go out of their way to test your intelligence. Others test your physical prowess. Others love to see how far they can push you until you break your code. The Joker is an exception. He engages in acts of malice out of pure love of the game. Sprinkle in his desire to see Batman laugh. There's no limit to the length he'll go to when tormenting Batman in Gotham, crippling friends, unaliving family members, threatening to blow up the city. It's all a sport to him. But what happens when the malice comes to a halt? Your arch nemesis instead becomes a symbol for the system to showcase their success. He's no longer known as someone who enjoys hurting others, but helping them. He pushes for change through the system by helping those who are most impoverished. He's now accepted by others as their savior, their white knight. This sudden change doesn't persuade you. You're still adamant that he's a villain, and this is just another method he's using to hurt you. You become obsessed with showing his faults. The city takes note of your hostility towards him and turns against you. Your closest allies question your motives, and some even turn against you. Your obsession with displaying his faults all comes crashing down, and with it, your reputation. You're no longer the man they rely on to protect them in the shadow. Instead, you're the one who knocks. Batman White Knight is a story of chaos, redemption, and then chaos. I hope you enjoy it. Logan spent a timeline being used as a weapon, another fighting against those who previously used him, and another fighting for those who are oppressed. Each battle came with its scars, some in the form of losing friends, others in the form of betrayal. But there's one thing that Logan wishes from those scars, that they never happened. Far away from civilization, he goes to live in peace. Unfamiliar to those around him, he embraces being a stranger. This is good, he thinks to himself. If no one knows who he is, no harm will be inflicted on them. So he believes. Enter the Predator, a hunter who doesn't care for such lifestyle. He only desires a trophy from his prey, their corpse. Hunting is not just a sport to him, but a lifestyle. Yet again, Logan is ushered into battle, one that pushes him to his limits. The safety of others and his peace is on the line. This is Wolverine vs. Predator. Technology is ever growing, and with it, it has become easier to access information. Our favorite shops are no longer minutes away, but are accessible in a few clicks. Our hobbies are put on full display as we watch others indulge in them. We can access each other with a single push of a button. One can argue that our lives are better with this. Companies, however, see it as an opportunity to advertise. Through YouTube, TikTok, and the crap ton of streaming services. Ads are everywhere. Some use content creators to advertise for them. Who cares what's getting advertised as long as they're getting paid? Brand after brand, as they compete for our dollar, is their long-lasting mission. As a result, we fall victim to their scams. We start to believe we need it all, even when we can't afford it. Our wish lists are filled with items we're told that we need. Our life won't be fulfilled unless we have it. Right? There's nothing wrong with having more options. Right? You might need it one day. Might as well buy it now. Right? You'll be happy so long as you spend. Right? Barry Schwartz argues otherwise. The ever-growing number of choices has made us anxious about making the right one. Even when you choose correctly and something just happens to go wrong, you blame it on that choice. By reducing choices, is it possible to reduce the stress and anxiety surrounding picking? The paradox of choice tackles the idea of why more is less. Check it out. A warrior prides himself on the weapon he carries. Taking care of it distinguishes him from his peers. A swordsmith takes pride in his work by never putting quantity over quality. This quality was present in the making of the enchanted blades, forged and honed by Kunishige Rukohira himself. They were built to fight evil. Much praise was given to Kunishige, and as the war ended, so did the use for the weapons, so they were safely returned to him. Until one day Mr. Shiba, a friend of his, was alerted to a break-in at his home. Rushing into a residence, he was met with destruction in the hollow body of his friend. Hovering over Kunishige's body was his son, Chihiro. A quick glance showed the perpetrator's motives. 6 empty cases that were once home to the enchanted blaze. Putting that aside, he checks on Chihiro, who was filled with sadness, anger, and confusion on why such an atrocity was done onto him. Kagurabachi takes us on a journey with Chihiro as he recovers the 6 enchanted blaze, while dishing out justice to those who wronged him. There are currently 5 volumes out. I advise you check them out. Alright, that's all I got for y'all. Thank you guys for 10 subscribers. Peace.